Good day, Colin Jennings from Jeeping.Net. Today we're going to be looking at this rough country forged front track bar. While looking for a track bar, I looked at a couple of different ones on the market, but there were three things I was looking for. First off, I wanted one that would not interfere with the front differential. I'm only running 3 inches of lift, and I'm going to be going for as much up travel as I can. So a lot of these track bars, they'll actually interfere with the front differential right around here. This track bar is specially designed so it will not do that, and I think will work out very well for me. The other thing is it doesn't actually drill into the factory mount. There's one little drill I have to do, I'll show you guys that, but in the past I've had to elongate or enlarge the hole for the factory bar, and I've regretted that before because that really limits you in the future as to what other bars you can run. And lastly, price. I normally tell most people to buy the middle cloak. The middle cloak is about $185 US. Though into Canada, just because of import charges on the middle cloak stuff and all that, this was a quarter of the price here in Canada. And I think it's going to do really well for me. Again, it's not the normal rough country track bar. It's the fully forged one, and it's actually dual adjustable. So let's jump over the bench, and I'll show you guys this track bar in a little bit more detail. So first thing about this track bar is it is heavy. It weighs in at about 16 pounds. It's all one single forge. But what they do is they add this double adjustable here in the middle, which is really nice because it allows you to fine tune it while on the vehicle without taking it off the vehicle. The other big item that's different on this track bar as compared to most is it has clevis joints at both ends. Very typical on the frame to have that, but sorry, on the axle, but on the frame they actually also include a clevis joint. This means it's maintenance free and gives you a very similar setup to what the JK has and what you have in the rear of your TJ. To accomplish that, they give you this bracket that bolts up into the factory location, and you do have to drill one little hole. A lot of people will say don't use brackets in this location because it will drop down your track bar, but I did measure and it only drops down less than 1/4 of an inch because normally your ball joint would normally be at the frame end, hangs down a little bit, and the actual center of the ball would normally be right here, so you're actually not going to throw off your geometry that much. That being said, this is for the 0 to 3.5 inches lift. They do have one for the 4 to 6 inch, and what they do is they extend this bracket. That is a bad idea in my opinion, unless you also have a similar extended pitman arm. Even at that, I recommend not doing that. So I would say for the 0 to 3.5 inch lift, this is a good product. For the 4 to 6 inch, probably not. They do give you everything you need. They give you all the bolts for both ends. Not a lot of companies will actually give you the bolt for the frame, sorry, for the axle end. You do need a 13 by 32 drill bit to install that new upper bolt. The funny thing is they actually included their own instructions, as some of you may have noticed. This is for their other track bar, the non-double adjustable, non-forged track bar. Kind of funny that they did that, because I've had that happen before with rough country projects where they give you the wrong instructions. But luckily they do have all their instructions online. So anyway, let's jump over and install this, and I'll come back and show you guys how it's installed up.
Okay, a little magic trick here. So that video, what you just saw, was actually from 2.5 years ago. I decided not to post this video at that time because I wasn't certain if I was going to love this track bar. I don't want to kind of recommend something I really haven't tried. So it's been 2.5 years. I can now actually give you guys a valid feedback on this product. And it is good. It is really good. It is off the vehicle right now because of something I will address in a second. But, and I'll address what to do for the install in a second as well. But the only other issue I kind of ran into this with the track bar is this adjustable sleeve here. First time I tightened it down, there were a lot of metal shavings that came off it because the bolts were going right in kind of the softer steel. So to address that, what I did is I put some washers on both sides of the bolt, and now I can tighten this bolt up without marring the original metal here. The other thing I have to do is paint it a couple times because you can see I do have a bit of rock rash. My latest wheel tripping, my latest trip out, and this is trying to get a bit of wear on it. But all in all, the bar is doing really well. My Jeep steers amazingly well. I have a 3-inch coils with a 1-inch coil spacer in the front. It doesn't hit anything in the front. Even when I was just running the 3-inch coils, I never hit anything in the front. It comes very close to hitting the front diff, but it does not hit the front diff. And it does really, really well. The one issue I have had with it has to do with this drop bracket. So I knew this drop bracket was probably the biggest problem on this kit. And what happened on my latest wheeling adventure was I was coming home from the trip and I started to hear a little clunk, clunk, clunk. Took the vehicle in the garage, took a look, and this was just moving a tiny little bit so that there's a bit of play between this bolt. Tightened the bolt and it went away, but I decided to pull it off and just repaint this bracket, and just wanted to adjust it. Sorry, I just wanted to take a look at it to make sure, there's no cracks, because there is a big weld going down the middle here, but it looks really good, and I'm just going to reinstall it. I didn't use Loctite the first time, so I will use Loctite this time, and I will watch it over time, but yeah, the install is quite straightforward. You do need to drill a hole up here in the top. To do that, I came through on the pilot hole on the back and centered it, and then used my bigger drill bit to come through on the other side because I wasn't able to get that bigger drill bit in there to fit correctly. And then I put a bolt through there, loosely tightened it, and then I attached the bigger bolt through the bottom here, and then torqued everything down. And then you simply just install the rest of the track bar like you would a normal track bar, other than the fact that this one is double adjustable. So as I did mention earlier in the video, this is double adjustable, which is handy. Not as handy as I originally thought. I mean, it's very handy, but really once it is adjusted, you don't really mess around with it very much. My rear track bar is not double adjustable, and arguably almost the same effort, but this is nice because I get these both in the torque, drive the vehicle around, move the vehicle around, move it again, get it perfect, and then tighten down my clamps exactly where I want it. And then I'm perfectly centered in the front, which is more important than in the back. So yeah, I do highly recommend this one. I mean, yes, there are arguably better products in the market like JKS, Curry, and Metal Cloak. They're all really good options. But for me here in Canada, this being about almost a quarter of the price of those options, it's as equally a product, I believe. I would not get the larger size with a bigger drop bracket. I don't think that's a good product. But I do think this one with a small drop bracket actually is a very viable product. It is hefty. It is really, really heavy, I must say. This is not going to break. It might break something else, but it's here to last. There's really not a whole lot to wear out on it other than these bushings, and these bushings can be easily replaced within minutes. So I'm very happy with the track bar. If I was to buy another one up in my area, I would buy this for another TJ. If I was down in the States, yeah, I would probably consider the Curry, the Metal Cloak, JKS. But if your local shop, this is what they sell, they are a rough country shop, don't shy away from this. Maybe shy away from the other products. But I think that this is actually one of their good products that I would recommend. And I will let you guys know if I've run into any problems, but it has been 2.5 years, and I've ran some pretty tight trails. So yeah, any questions, let me know. Thanks guys a lot for watching. Have a good day.